Love, blessings, peace, and prosperity. Divine, beautiful soul, what is good in your world? It's me, Nicole P, your spiritual barista, serving you up wisdom, guidance, and inspiration from the cards. My love, I have for you the weekly tarot brew. And these four cards are calling both of us out because if I'm sharing this message for you, this message is for me as well. As you can see here, I'm going to pull out, they're going to go right here because as I record this video, when I edit it, I'll definitely have the cards shown here because I pulled the Four of Swords reverse. That's Jupiter and Libra energy. Pulled the King of Swords and then the Ace of Swords. Holy Swords energy. Like we're up now coming into Taurus season, this earth energy. So like praise the goddesses that we can root into the energy of Taurus to be able to like embody this message, bring it into the human form and take action on it. Now, the grounding card of the tarot brew this week is the Judgment card. So I love to do 4 card pulls. I'll do 3 like body, mind, spirit, past, present, future, and then always the 4th card as like the grounding, like the overarching message. And the 4th card in how I work with the brews, work with the cards. The 4th card is like the threshold or the bridge, the water's edge, so to speak, the way that we are walking and entering what we're leaving and what we're moving towards, kind of like the big medicine, the big magic, the big energy of the reading. And so the Judgment card is like the energy that we are moving through and dancing with. The Judgment card is connected to Scorpio. So we have energies of death and rebirth. And the cards this week are about really letting things go and making the decision. So it's not just things are flowing, you're shedding, you're coming into a new, it's the dance of death and rebirth that, for example, you know how in life, sometimes like tower moments, right? Things happen all around. Sometimes there are a lot of really big things happening beyond your control. This energy is more about you and me, us making the choice to make the change, to surrender to the change. Because the energy here in the cards, when we're looking at the 4 of Swords reverse, this is an energy of avoidance. This is like, I'm going to continue working, chasing the answer, trying to make things work, and I'm exhausted and I'm not taking a break because by doing more, I can figure it out. That's what that energy is. Jupiter is expansive, but in this energy, when the 4 of Swords is reversed, it's like you're not being able to open to the expansiveness because you're running yourself ragged, right? And you think that running yourself ragged is going to give you the answer. It's going to make everything make sense. And also, what it is that running yourself ragged, there's an avoidance. So the 4 of Swords is saying to you, like, what are you avoiding? Like, why won't you take the time to rest? Why won't you do the things, the rituals, to be in stillness, to be in silence, to have things cleared off your plate so you can really tune in to your intuition? And also, there's another really big piece to the message this week. It's from the King of Swords, right? So why aren't you allowing yourself the space, the energy for stillness, for reflection, for rest, so that you can have access to that brilliant, logical part of yourself, right? Because it's almost that there's a truth that you need to act upon and you're avoiding it. Right? And with the King of Swords, the energy is like, wait a minute, like you have some really big decisions to make. The ball is in your court. You are on the precipice, right, of crossing this threshold into something new. And it's scary, of course. And it's something that you or a situation, a dream, an intention, a relationship, a job, a location, there's something that's calling and you know you got to leave it behind. But it's kind of like, I've put so much into it. I think this is what I thought was going to happen. This is how it was going to be. And, oh, right? And there's an avoidance. But the King of Swords is like, you know what to do. You know what to do. Right? You know what to do. And maybe not know exactly, but you know the energy of it, right? And the King of Swords is like, allow yourself the power, like to step into your power and your sovereignty and your agency to make a logical, really smart decision, right? Because the thing is that intuition, we think of intuition as always just like soft, and we just is flowing, and it's the way of just going in creativity and just going with the flow. And going with the flow is beautiful and wonderful, no doubt. And also, what is beautiful and wonderful and just as spiritual is saying, you know what? I'm going to use this aspect of my logic and my brilliance and my intelligence to stand on business, to make this decision. And what's going to happen, my love, is when you slow down, you allow yourself the space to rest, you declare your decision. You take your decision. You make your decision. You tune into that brilliance, that logic, that strength. Things become a lot clearer. Right now, there's confusion on which way to go, but yet your heart knows, right? Your spirit knows, your gut knows. But it's almost like it's painful, number one, because a lot of times when we have to make some of these decisions, to like leave some things behind, or people, places, things, experiences, dreams, intentions. It's like I put so much into it. I really wanted this to work and it's not working. It's not working. Is something wrong with me? What happened? What did I do? Can I keep on trying? But there's the body and the mind is craving some peace. Is craving and calling for you to let some things go. And the thing is this. Sometimes some things are meant to be let go temporarily, so you can rest, so you can recuperate, so you can look at the situation differently. Sometimes they're called to be offered to the underworld and be recycled, be made into compost for future dreams, for future relationships, for future experiences. But the thing is, you're not going to know if it's temporarily or if it's longer than temporarily until you give yourself the space to tune in. Because when you tune in, you can say, okay, you can muster up your courage. You can just stand on your business in a position of power and not franticness and not reactionary. You feel me? And what happens is that Ace of Swords comes in, and once you stand on business and once you really listen to the spirituality of logic in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, and from the ancestors and from the earth, you begin to then see, aha, this makes sense. Do you feel me? So there's something that's going on that's calling you to make a very important decision, to stand on business, to let some things go away. We think that we have to add more. We have to do more, be more, add more in order to get to the answer, in order to get to the clarity. And really, we have to take things away. We have to release things. And by releasing things, you're going to be able to rest. You'll be able to turn that energy of the Four of Swords reversed right side up. The call is rest and respite, so that you have the strength and conviction to make your decision, to hear the voice of reason and logic that can dance so eloquently with the energy of that free spirit energy, right? It's all magic. It's all medicine. And there's a season for very logical, very smart, so to speak, like very that kind of like Saturnish type of energy, right? There's a season for that. Just as there's a season as like that Pisces energy of free flowing and let me float here for a while. Right now you're in the season of let me get this SHIT together. Let me figure this out. I need to be very, 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 very aware and open to the facts, what's going on, where I want to go, how I want to be, and how things are not working. Point blank. Period. That's the energy. Because you are at, once again, and I am too, right? We both are at the point of this threshold of releasing and receiving. So how may you open to more rest in these upcoming weeks? I'm not saying this week you've got to make that decision. This is the overarching energy because you're walking through the threshold of walking through the tunnel, crossing the bridge of the judgment card. And that takes time. So how will you open to rest? How you will clear some things from your plate so that you can really hear and feel, that's the thing, feel the voice of logic. There's nothing wrong with logic. There's nothing wrong with logic. Life is balance and flow. Or I shouldn't even say balance. Life is flow. Life is flow. And right now there's a call for you to tune into that brilliance and be able to say, okay, some things here are not working. And I'm going to be honest. And I'm going to make some decisions. And you will see just how eloquently and wonderful that Ace of Swords opens up. And it allows you also to the courage and the strength to speak your truth. There's about truth speaking here. It's about speaking your truth and saying what's on your heart and on your mind and declaring it with others in your circle all around you and also with spirit. Declare it. Name it. Name it. Sing it, dance it, but your words are very, very important. Very important, my love. What's interesting is I pulled out, I'm dropping cards, but I pulled out a card from, I love this deck, I just got it, the Herbal Astrology Pocket Oracle, and they have full size too, but I got the Pocket Oracle, and I pulled Skull Cap, and look at that, it says stillness. Cards don't lie. It says stillness. And look at what's there. It's a Scorpio. So that energy of that death and rebirth really requires a stillness. And, hustling always, if you got to do what you got to do. I'm not saying do what you got to do to pay your bills, right? But sometimes we just add more and we think we have to do more and be more. And that's where we're going to find that answer. But really it's letting it go and being still. That's where you'll find the answer. But then again, ask yourself, what are you avoiding in the stillness? Why are you avoiding the stillness? Why are you avoiding the stillness? So if you might say to me, I'm not avoiding any stillness, okay. Then make sure you're open to invite the stillness. And even if it's uncomfortable, because a lot of times we can get so distracted by the static and other people's energies and their opinions and the guidance of others, we forget to take the time to rest and let it all just, right? So we can hear ourselves. And I might have said this earlier, but just in case I did not, sometimes it's really hard to make that decision, to leave something, to bury or offer up a dream, bury a dream or intention, relationship, situation, experience, whatever it may be. It's hard. It's hard sometimes to admit, like, this isn't working. This isn't working and I need to do something different. I'm not denying that it's hard, right? But the thing is that by not acknowledging it, by not at some point in time moving on it, making that decision, it's like when you know a truth, but you choose not to listen to the truth and act on the truth, there's always this soul aching. Like there's this ache because you just know, and it hurts and it's hard. So either way, it's hard, right? Either way, it's hard. And some things are meant to be set aside for a season. Some things are meant to be recycled. But you don't know unless you break free from them and take some space from them. And you got to make the decision. Only you can do that for yourself. So whatever that is for you, my love, I wish you so much peace and stillness and respite so you can really hear and feel your body and then recuperate, regain your strength for when you make that decision, because you'll need it, because there's always sorrow, right? There's always sorrow, right? When you're going through the energy of judgment, where you're going through the energy of death and rebirth. And so I'm raising my cafecito to you. I wish you a wonderful week ahead. I hope that this was of service to you in some way, shape, or form. And be well. Be well as you dance with what you got to dance through, and get some rest, my love. Get some rest. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure to be of service to you and serve you the brew. Peace, love, and everything in between. Bye.